Most name brand bars and body washes you rub on your skin are classified.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? Zero to Homestead, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Melanie Williams, hello. How are you? Thank you guys so much for coming in. I appreciate you. Getting into the chat. We're going to talk a little bit this afternoon about, are we growing enough food? Should we grow more? I know with you, Zero to Homestead, being on a homestead, it's all about self-sustainability. And that's the difference that I want to talk about. The common goal that we have as gardeners, homesteaders, farmers. A lot of farmers grow for commercial reasons. Then you have some that doesn't, that grow to sustain. So the question today that we're going to be talking about in the live stream is, should we grow more? Are we growing enough? In my opinion, as far as growing more, I think we should grow more. If I go out and I have a 4x4 bed, I was able to put 12 bean plants in that bed, which gave me a great harvest, but it wasn't enough to sustain me through the winter. The first day of winter haven't even came yet, and already I'm down to like one bag of beans. So in our planning our garden of 2020, we need to think on a level of, okay, first of all, are we hobby gardening for YouTube, or are we gardening for self-sustainability, and we're just showcasing it through YouTube? Citibank Homestead, hello, how are you? Welcome to the live. And guys, in here you are free to network with each other. We don't ask for anything. We don't ask for subscribers. We don't ask for love. We just go over, simply watch one of the videos, leave a comment, click the button, come back to the room. And in your comment, make it a genuine comment. Do not go over there and ask them to return the love. They're going to connect back with you. Especially in here, because most of the people that come through here are gardeners, or have an interest in gardening. So don't shy away because their title might not say gardening. They might have an interest in gardening. But yeah, back to the subject. Are we growing enough food? Did you grow enough food in 2019? Do you feel like you could have grown? You might feel you've grown too much, maybe not enough. This is the question that I'm asking to the gardeners or to the homesteaders. Did you prepare? Do you think you're well prepared for the winter until your next growing season? I'm not sure where everyone is from, but these are questions that I'm interested in knowing. Getting started on homestead. Okay, great. And that's, I think, Claybank, that's where regardless if we're gardeners or not, I think that's going to be the mindset of all of us. Starting our homestead, getting started on homesteading, self-sustainability. I went to the grocery store. Thank you, Melanie Williams, for that super chat. I appreciate that. Hold your ears. We got a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. That is one of the things that we have to look out for. So from zero to homestead, we grew too much of some things and not enough of others. There we go. I think that's a common, I wouldn't call it a mistake, but a mishap that happens in gardening. That we grow a lot of one thing and not enough of others. Some people grow a lot of tomatoes. Well, tomatoes can play different roles in your in your home. Piece of sauce, tomato sauce, stew. You can slice them, dice them, preserve them whole. You know what I'm saying? You can can them. So I don't think with a tomato you ever have too much tomato. You can make cha-cha, salsa, different things with your tomatoes. But next year in our planning, we have to start writing our stuff down. I'll forget things in a minute. I always keep me a pen and a pad. We have to, even with planting our garden. Now, you know, in 2019, we grew too much of one thing and not enough of the other. So in 2020, the plan is to grow either enough of everything, or maybe it's some things that we might want to cut back on. Are you growing enough for your family? Are you growing enough for overflow where you can feed another family, or you can provide for someone else, or you can trade and you can barter? That's another thing that you can do with growing food and plants. So those are the things that we have to find out. If I did a 4x4 bed, I was able to get 12 strike bush bean plants in that 4x4 bed. In my opinion, I think that I could have got twice as much in that 4x4 bed. If I was able to get 12, I should have been able to get 24. The reason for that is I felt like my bush bean plants only needed a 6 to 8 inch space. I gave 1 whole square foot to one plant. But when you look at the seed package, or you look at how that variety grows, you'll go back and say, you know what, I could have cramped a little bit more in here. If I couldn't get the whole 24 in there, I should have at least been able to get 20, 18, more than the 12 plants that I got. And that seed pack only cost me less than $3. Less than $3. So if it cost me less than $3, and I came up with 4 quart bags of snap beans, string beans, that's not a really bad deal. I went to the grocery store over the holidays, and I don't know if they hiked the price up because of the holidays. I think some of that plays a role. But food is expensive, and I'm noticing it more and more. About 3 years ago, I never paid attention to the prices of food. If I needed a gallon of milk, I went in there and I got a gallon of milk. If I needed a dozen of eggs, I just went in and I got a dozen of eggs. I never really paid attention to the price, but now, because everything is so expensive, you pay more attention to what you're getting. You pay more attention to what you're buying. Because it'll make you pay attention. Especially when you start looking in your wallet and like, or look at that long receipt and be like, I just spent $120 on what? You take it home, you unpack everything, and it's like, okay, this is probably about a week A week and a half worth of food. You pay more attention to your bill the bigger your family is also. Let me go back into the chat. Okay, that was one. Way too many tomatoes, gifted them through. Yeah, but do you think that from Zero to Homestead, in your tomatoes, do you guys can in your household? I'm sure you guys do. You can in your household? Because you can have, you can't have too many tomatoes. And I think a lot of people get caught up in the variety of tomatoes. Well, I want to do the breakfast, French breakfast. I want to do the Kellogg's. I want to do the cherry. I want to do the beefsteak, Better Boy, Better Girl. I think we get caught up in the variety of the tomatoes as well. I'm telling you, the marketing that they do at Baker Creek for their seeds is amazing. It's really good, and we get caught up in the pictures and like, oh my God, that really looks delicious. We even get caught up on YouTube when we see other people harvest their plants and harvest and be like, you know what, I want to grow that. But do you eat that? Do you need that much? How much do you need? Let me go back into the chat. And that was good that you were able to have an overflow where you can gift them out to others. But, and I understand what you're saying, well, with that, I could have grew something else. Instead of having such an overflow where I had to gift them out, that could have went into something else that I needed in the household. You have to find a balance. I agree with you, Claybank Homestead. You do have to find a balance, because in everything, though, we have to find a balance in our garden. We have to find a balance in our life. How much time can we dedicate to our garden? Realistically, because some of us work outside of the household. We have to go to work. Then we come home. If we can't get out there every day, you know, in 3 days weeds will take over. So the balance is in everything. How can we make it more easier than it was the year before with growing our food? So that's something else that we have to look into. I wish I could have grown more of the horticultural beds. Too young next year. Should be awesome. That was from Claybank. Food Forest Permaculture. Hello. Garden Realtor. Good morning. Hello. How are you? We're in here talking today about, did we grow enough food? Should we grow more? That's the topic today. One person stated that they grew too much of the one thing and not enough of the other thing. Another person stated that there has to be a balance, and I totally agree with that. It has to be a balance. I did a 12 by 12 bed this season, and I did a 4 by 4 bed. I was able to get 12 strike bush bean plants in there. If I had planned it correctly, because I've been growing strikes, I know how this, it's a low crop bush bean, it's a bush bean, it's not a vine. I could have got 18 to 24 plants in that bed, which would have gave me more. Everything that I grew over the summer is almost gone now. Everything is almost gone. So are we growing enough? Should we grow more? What is the purpose of our garden? Okay, we know that it's mental for us. It relaxes us, but it has to be more, because as we start to go through life, we're noticing, just over the weekend, I've noticed how expensive food is. It's very expensive. It's very expensive. Hidden Harvest Grow Lights, hello, welcome to the live. Hidden Harvest Grow Lights is an example. where his garden continues all season, because when he can't grow outdoors, he grow indoors. So some of us don't have the ability to do that. Everyone is speaking with each other. Again, please network, get to know each other. We're all pretty much gardeners in here, have the same common goal. Just because they don't have say gardening on their title don't mean they do not garden. Just because their title may say something else, they still may be interested in learning. So go ahead and network with each other and continue to grow. I have a question for Food Forest Permaculture. Do you feel like you grew enough this year? This is for Food Forest, and actually it's for everybody because that's the title. Are you going to grow more next year? Did you grow enough this year? Like I said, some people say they grew more of one thing and not enough of the other. I just looked at a title where Miss Linda is going to start, she's going to redesign her garden for 2020. I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm going to add more beds. Gardening Realtor, I know you got that big truffle that you had. That's going to be a new addition to your 2020 garden as well, to start growing from there. And I've also seen on your property that you have a lot of bins. So you have a lot of different things that you can grow in and add more to. Then you have to look at, this is what I love about connecting with people. Not just to grow numbers, but to grow ideas. For example, you have Gardening Realtor. She has this big old bed, okay? She also have these, it's like a big pallet, 4x4. I've seen them on her property, and they look like she has them lined with some type of fabric, weave fabric in them. Those are things that I would have never thought to use. But watching her channel, it shows me that you can pretty much grow out of everything. Then if I go over to, because that's a lot of soil, but when I go over to Diva Jones 03, I see how she's making her own soil. How it's all breaking down, the wood is breaking down, and she has it sitting there storing, and she's able to fill up her tires for her garden. But then by me being in the north, it allows me to go to Hidden Harvest Grow Lights. Because guess what? After October, I'm pretty much done. Actually, before October even get in good, I'm pretty much done for the season. But I'll get an idea from Hidden Harvest Grow Lights, and I'll start my grow inside the house to continue my season. If you are in a long season area, if you're in the South, you are absolutely blessed, because for us in the North, our season pretty much ends in September. It could pretty much end in by the middle of September, it's pretty much over, because we can get our frost. Then the weather starts to change. Some years it'll be a little longer, some years it'll be a little shorter. So those are some of the things that by going to these different channels, and it inspires us to grow more and how to grow more. Someone said they were starting a homestead in the chat. They're getting ready to start their homestead. You have people that's already on the homestead. They can tell you some things that might not went well, and some things that did really great. By learning through somebody else's mistakes, save you a lot of trouble. or going through their successes also save you a lot of trouble. Reap what you sow. Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. Guys, if I haven't spoke to you, I'm back and forth in the chat. If you're just coming in, please smash the like button for the host. I appreciate it. We're trying to find out, do we need to grow more food? Did you grow enough in 2019? What you grew in 2019, do you still have it? Is it preserved? Is it in the freezer? Or did you use it already? Rose Stockley, hello. Thank you for coming in. Welcome to the live. Hello, everyone. New Gardener here. I live in Texas. Thanks for all the information. Rose, you're in the right place. You're among some great gardeners, great channels. And they can give you a lot of good ideas on how to start out. Angela Busy Bee Garden and Homestead, hello, welcome to the live. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. Rose, we have container gardens, we have homesteaders, we have backyard gardeners, we have a little bit of everything in here right now, so you're definitely in the right place. So definitely stick around and visit these channels because they are excellent growers. They will show you the good, they will show you the bad, and they will show you the ugly. And that's what you want to see. You want to see a transparent channel where that's the only way that you can learn. Let's see where we at. All right. So the picture on the thumbnail is a big garden. Do we have enough space? A lot of us live in smaller areas and we don't have enough space to garden the way that we want to. I'm telling you. If you are in an apartment and you have a balcony, go out and buy some pots. Just go out. Lowe's got their little self-watering pots on sale around this time of year because they're trying to get rid of them for the new season. You have a tote. Drill some holes in the bottom of that tote, sit it on some bricks. If you have a small backyard, you can do wonders with a small backyard. Four Horns Farm has a small space out where her apartment is. And I'm telling you, I'm just looking at the small space, but it's endless possibilities to that small space. You have to be creative. You have to be organized. And you have to be resourceful as well. You don't have to go and buy stuff. I tell people all the time, you can pick up 5-gallon buckets for free. Sam's Club Bakery Department. Kroger's Bakery Department, Myers Bakery Department. If you have any type of bakery in your area, they normally give those buckets away free. Their food grade buckets is what you want. Their whipped creams and icing comes in the buckets. I have a place here that sell a corned beef place, and the pickles come in buckets. The guy knows me, he'll stack them outside for me. I'll bring them home. I'll hose them out real good, and they're ready to go. Same thing with milk crates. I like to elevate some of my things off the ground so that the rabbits don't get to them when they come through my yard. I get my milk crates for free. If you go on Craigslist, they're selling milk crates like $5 a piece. Something that they got for free. The Coney Island, the guy brings milk in there and creamers in the milk crates. He don't take his milk crates, he don't want them. I'll go by and they'll say, or sometimes they'll even call me and say, you can come pick up some crates. They're piling up out here. And I'll go, and they're absolutely brand new milk crates. And I also use those as well. Pallets as well. To elevate different things up from the rabbits if you have a rabbit problem. So it's just about being very resourceful. Everything doesn't cost a lot of money because that's the mindset of some of us feel like, oh, it just costs so much for us to garden. It really doesn't. It's not as expensive as we think. That's why you have to hook up with these channels, because they're going to show you an economical way to do things. Broadway Gardener, hello, how are you? Congratulations on your new home. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to the clean slate that you will have, Broadway, at your new home and starting your garden. That's pretty exciting right there. Have you seen? Later. All right, Food Forest Permaculture, have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day and be safe. Thank you so much for coming in. Can you grow collards in containers? Yes, you can grow collards in containers. The thing about that is you want to get the right size container. Miss Farola actually grows kale and I believe collards in containers. And she's had success with it. Think Dragon, thank you so much for coming in. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the live. I appreciate you being here. You can grow collards in containers. You can grow anything in a container. Anything. The thing that you want to keep in mind is how much can I grow? You know, you get a bundle of collards at the grocery store. You got to get like 2 or 3 bags because collards break down so much. So when you do decide to do them in containers, make sure that you get a tote. A nice sized tote. That way you can put more than just one plant per container. So keep that in mind, Rose, when you do start your garden. Backyard Garden, thank you so much. I am excited to get all of the tips and tricks on everyone once we all get set up. Yes, I'm excited for you. That's a nice accomplishment. And again, congratulations. Guys, if you don't have Broadway Gardener, go over there and check her out. She's check out her old videos because she just moved. So she's gonna do her own little garden at her new place. She just bought her home, so just go over there and give her some support and love if you can. She is in the chat, and she is networking. Guys, feel free to network. Let me go back up a little bit because I missed some comments. Rose, I have a question for you. Do you have a large backyard? What is your situation? Are you in an apartment, backyard, deck? I've seen people grow right off their deck successfully. I believe Gigi Childs, she has a large backyard and she still grows on her deck. All right, guys, I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. Skywatcher Footage, hello. How are you? It's a dragon raid. Am I being raided over here? I see a dragon raid. G Lucky Video, hello. Welcome to the live. Think Dragon, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you. Deer Creek Homestead, welcome. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. G Lucky Videos, hello, welcome. Guys coming in, please smash the like button for the host. Life with T, hello. This is my second raid I've ever gotten. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come in and smash that like button for the host. I would appreciate. Dubson Family and Fishing, hello, how are you? Michael, hello, how are you? Explorable Bobby, hello, how are you? I'm sorry if I mess up your name. Chrissy ASMR, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. Walker Fan, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Some of you guys I'm familiar with. Thank you again for coming in. Michael, thank you. Mr. Dunnery, hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody, so I'm taking time out to acknowledge you because I do appreciate you coming in and smashing the like button for the host. Claire Joy Lives, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. I have one mod in here. She's trying to greet everyone that I might have missed myself. Thank you again, Think Dragon. I appreciate you. Nathan T, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Hello to you. Smash that like, guys. I appreciate it. Fiddlesticks, hello. Subnova Gaming, hello. I'll check you out. Guys, smash that like, smash that like. Thank you. Again, Think Dragon, thank you so much for rating me. I appreciate it. For the thumbs up. We got 22 people in the building. Thank you so much and welcome. Welcome. We are in here talking about growing more food. I'm going to be on here for about an hour today. I am in the north, zone 6B. We have some snow coming our way. Rose, thank you so much for the super chat. Hold your ears, guys. We got a super chat. Thank you so much, Rose, for that super chat. I appreciate you. Awesome, awesome. No, I didn't just say that. Thank you. Guys, feel free to network. Do it the right way. Watch a video. Leave a comment. Don't ask for anything in the chat. Don't ask for water. Don't ask for sugar. Just go over there and get it. Don't ask when you go over in that comment section for the love back because that will definitely spam their chat and they probably won't spam their comment section and they probably won't even see it. So that means that they won't come back to you. So feel free to network. Do not self-promote. That's all I ask. No more than 2 emojis. No hearts and no fingers. No all capital letters. Thank you so much. You guys know how to do it. Okay, so Chris will say, yes, I love tomatoes, but I always kill whatever I try to grow. Yeah. But you know what, Chrissy? I hear people say, I just don't have a green thumb. It's no such thing. It's all about knowledge. A lot of times we tend to worry about our plants too much. Tomato plants are like a weed to me. The same thing with figs. You don't have to do all that water and water. No, it's thirsty. It looks like it needs more water. That's one of the things that we do. We either feed it too much, water it too much, or don't water it enough. And a lot of us think that we can only water our plants throughout the whole growing season. But just like your body, you need nutrients. So it's going to need fertilizers to grow. And I typically use organic fertilizers. So if you got a so-called brown thumb, just get a little knowledge. I guarantee you it'll turn green. Nice to see you too. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Sheer TV is in the building, everyone. Let's check each other out. You never know what knowledge you will get from a lot of these channels. So check them out. Check them out. And again, Think Dragon, thank you for the raid. I appreciate you so much. Angela Busy Bee Garden Homestead, I love your topic for today because this is so true. In my 4x4 bed, I did 16 plants. No, I did, yeah, 16 plants. I could have did more. And I only got like 3 quarts of bush beans. That's gone now. So we have to understand that what kind of gardener are we? Are we just doing it for YouTube? Do we just want it to look pretty for YouTube? Or are we really trying to be self-sustainable? Are we really trying to provide for our family and take people along on the journey with us? Those are the things that we have to ask ourselves. I did not grow enough food this year at all. Whatever I growed out there over the summer is pretty much gone, maybe 1 bag of green beans. So nope, I didn't grow enough. Nowhere near enough, actually. And then I need to take more advantage of my spring grow season and my fall grow season. I did really good on my fall grow season. I did do a video where I harvest my kale and I harvest my Detroit red beets. The sugar snaps did not do well at all. I lost my footage, so I wasn't able to upload it, but I did great, and come spring, I will do it again. You also have to understand this. Green beans take about 45 days to harvest from seed. 45 to 55 days to harvest from seed. If you're in the South, unlike me that's in the North, you can get 3 rounds of green beans off. The same thing with your kale. And then we have to learn how to concession plant. Don't plant everything at the same time. Wait a couple of weeks so that you're not harvesting at the same time and you feel like, oh, I have all of this stuff, let me just start giving it away. Nope. You got time to think about it. You got time to can it. You got time to freeze it. You got time to dehydrate it, or whatever it is that you want to do with your produce. Everything is about planning. You have to plan out your garden. If you don't plan out your garden, you're not going to be successful. If you sat there the whole summer and you had this great harvest and then you don't know what to do with it because, oh, well, camera's off, let me start giving this away. What was the point of investing that back-breaking time? Remember, you were sweating out there in the garden because it got pretty hot out there. So what was the point of doing all of that to give it away or to actually let it rot? So you also got to keep that in mind too. I didn't take advantage of succession planting either, because with my green beans, I like to get that one big harvest, but the one thing that I will learn is how to can, because I can preserve my food better through canning and freezing. Because you only can freeze so much. And you want to start canning just in case your power go out. And over the winter time, when we have these big snowstorms and those lines get heavy with ice, our power will go out. And you can lose everything you've grown right out the freezer unless you stick it outside in the snow where it's cold. Thank you, Walker fam, for the compliment. I appreciate you. Broadway Gardener said, I had the same problem. I definitely didn't grow enough food and I need to do better learning to preserve my harvest. Absolutely, I agree with you, Broadway. That's my goal, to learn how to can. I don't can. For the past 2 years, I've had someone to do my canning for me. This is something that now they're not able to do it. This is something that I really should have learned on my own. So, and that's what I'm going to do, is learn how to can. I don't think it's as complicated or expensive from what I'm seeing. That whole kit you can get for less than $100. I mean, we can make excuses about how expensive it is to garden, or I'm not going to do all that backbreaking work when I could just go to the grocery store and buy it and be done with it. But do you know what you're buying? Do you know what's in it? I mean, our romaine lettuce has been recalled so much here. It's crazy. I think it's still on recall. I just read an article that 500,000 pounds of pork has been recalled because they pushed it through inspection. They didn't even inspect it, and somebody on the inside anonymously called them and told them that meat haven't been inspected, and they sent it out. 500,000 pounds. That's a lot of ribs and pork chops and sausage and bacon. 500,000 pounds, and it might just be sitting on your table. So we have to learn how to kind of get away from so much of the grocery store. My goal, let me tell you, I will be a happy gardener if 75% of my produce came out of my yard. Where I only have to go, for my food, I will only have to go to the grocery store for 25% of it. And that will probably be meats and dairy because I don't have livestock. And I don't know how long that will be because I'm planning on actually pulling away from a lot of that. Let's see what we have here. So we have to educate ourselves. We have to take advantage of, and we have to try to grow as much food as we can. Now, don't grow and be wasteful. That's why we have to learn how to can. Everything works hand in hand. Canning works hand in hand with being self-sustainable. Get those freezer bags. Don't buy those cheap ones from the dollar store. You can get some good ones from the dollar store that got the double seal. Learn how to blanch food, freeze it, push the air out. All of this stuff is very important in becoming self-sustainability. When your family see you doing that, the next family gonna want to do it. And then they're gonna want to come. It's a blessing to be able to have an overflow where you can bless someone else with something out of your garden. If it's nothing but a simple bell pepper. Because I'm telling you, bell peppers are 99 cents a bell pepper over this Thanksgiving holiday. And I know they just hiked it up because of the holiday. And they were the squirmiest looking bell peppers. It felt good that I had my own bell peppers. And yes, you can freeze bell peppers. You can freeze bell peppers. Souls Plants, thank you so much, Cuisine. Thank you so much for coming and giving the love. I appreciate you. Check out these channels, guys. Feel free to network. Don't self-promote. Don't ask for anything. Just go over there and do what you do. I think next year what I'm going to do, I have my list of what I want to grow. See, this is my problem. I'll watch a bunch of you guys' video, and I'll be intrigued by some of the things that you're growing. Don't even know what it is. This is how I got this fig addiction. I watched somebody's video that was growing figs, and it just stemmed from there. I mean, I happen to love figs, but I was growing figs before I even tasted my first fig. That was the craziest thing ever. When I look back on it, I'm like, that was crazy. That was a moment. But I happen to love figs. Make room in your garden for the things that you like to eat. I don't grow, I think it's called, there's a radish. I'm not sure the name of it, but it has a really nice name. It's white, and I think it has an orange inside. It looks really delicious, but I don't eat radish. So don't get caught up on the marketing either. Now, right now, you could go to Baker's Creek, you could go to Stark Brothers, you could go to Gurney's. This is the time to ask for their free catalogs. It's in the request box. You go over there and they'll send you out a free catalog. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna forewarn you. Baker's Creek catalog is awesome. They put a lot of thought into their catalogs. Miss Farola, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Welcome to the live. They put a lot of thought. Country Living. If I haven't said welcome to the live. They put a lot of thought in their catalogs. And they have a photographer that takes the really awesome pictures that will make you actually drool. Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up. That's called marketing. Very good marketing at that, because you will have 80 packs of seeds and no good and dang on well you're not about to grow 80 different things out there in your garden. And then you'll feel bad because you don't know how long the seeds are going to be valuable, okay? Will they be okay if I hold them another year or the year after that? Which I've never had a problem with any of Baker Creek seeds. But you can't get caught up in the hype of grow what you eat. Experiment with some new things. Now, it's some new things that I want to grow in my garden. It's another variety of tomato that I want to grow that UT and Bear Fruit had grown. And I'm very interested in that. I told you I wasn't a kale person because I never really tried kale. And when I did try it, I was trying it in my smoothies. Horrible. But I like kale greens. You have to retrain your palate in order to be a little bit more healthy. And in this journey that I'm on, with trying to get this weight off of me, I definitely have to retrain my palate. Everything. Another thing that we need to learn is our herbs, the benefits of them. Do we know enough about our herbs? It's so many things that grow that are beneficial to our health, that will help us with a lot of things, inflammation, anxiety. Do we know what those things are? We're pumping all of this medicine in our body, and I'm not by any means telling anybody to stop going to the doctor to get your medicine. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, if you can go another approach because you don't have those serious issues, why not start conditioning our bodies where we don't have those issues by using the herbs? I'm telling you, y'all keep saying that it's expensive to eat healthy. It's expensive not to eat healthy. Insulin is expensive. Thank God I'm not on any type of medications. I'm probably borderline everything. That's why I'm not going to keep taking the chance and continue going in the direction that I'm going. Insulin is very expensive. So don't say it's not expensive. The doctor bills, these co-pays to your doctor are very expensive. Blood pressure medicine is very expensive. Generic and the top brand. So a lot of people use the excuse, oh, it's just too expensive to eat healthy. You can't afford not to. Think about it like that. You can't afford not to eat healthy. Let me see where I'm at. And anybody that ever been in my life know that I kind of go a little bit everywhere with my chat. So I'm back. Okay. Let me see. I wanted to read that one about Broadway Gardener says, great tip. I grow many different types of radishes this year, and I realized that I only like them and pick them for tacos. Yep. Yeah. That's why I was saying with tomatoes, with radishes, I don't do radishes, but tomatoes you can't go wrong. You know how many things that you could use tomatoes with? You can use it for salsa. You can use it for cha-cha. You can use it for stews. You can dice them. You can whole stew them. You can can them. Tomatoes, you really can't go too wrong, but you can kind of get over abundance of them if you got a real productive variety. And see, we get caught up in the color too. And when you read that flavor profile on the description in these different catalogs, that'll get you caught up too. I grew the Alpine strawberry. I planted them this season just passed. They say that this strawberry is supposed to have a pineapple-like taste. I mean, like, who wouldn't want that? But they're very small. Now, they have a new variety that's supposed to be a little bit larger. But anybody that grows strawberries or have a desire to grow strawberries, you're not going to get your big bumper crop harvest until the third year. And guess what happened after the third year? That's the last of the plant. They're going to go back to having a small harvest. I got a very good, if you guys haven't checked out my strawberry video, I got a really good harvest because those plants were 3 years old. That's something else that you should concession plant by the year. I have a 3-year-old bed and I have a 2-year-old bed. But what I really needed is, I have a 1-year-old bed out there and I have a 3-year-old bed. I don't have my 2-year-old bed. I dropped the ball on that. So next year, I'm not going to get the harvest that I got this year. Those are things you want to keep up to if you grow strawberries. Those things need to be planted every year. Because once you hit your 3rd year harvest, that's when you're going to get the biggest, juiciest ones. That's the end of the life cycle of the plant. Then it's going to start dwindling off. Now, my 3-year-old bed that I got the nice harvest off of, I'm going to see if it's going to give me a good harvest this year. If not, I know it's time for me to start clearing that bed out and putting my newer plants in and focus on my other bed that's going to be now a 1-year-old bed. Because mind you, I didn't do the 2-year-old bed. Let's see what we got here. Real talk. How can I protect the garden from the deer? I've tried netting, but it is challenging to manage. Real talk. I don't have a deer problem here. I couldn't tell you the best way to protect them. I see a lot of people that do have a lot of land deer problem. And they basically go out and buy those T-post stakes, knock them down, and they'll buy that the wiring to put up a fence like. But I'm sure it's somebody in here that has a deer problem, one of these homesteading channels. They can probably better tell you how to deal with deer. Now, if you got a problem with a rabbit, I got you. But deer, I don't have a deer problem here. Not yet, anyway. Even though I've seen some deers about 2 miles away, they kind of freak me out. But I don't have them in my yard. Hello, talk. Okay, I'm trying to keep over chat. Okay, so Miss Frola said I have to divide my everbearing strawberries and pots up to Juneberry runners. Yes. Everbearing and Juneberry. When I first started doing strawberries as a beginning gardener, I really didn't know what those terms meant. I quickly learned the strawberry harvest that I had out there over the summer was their Juneberry. I would like a more of an everbearing variety. Therefore, I can harvest more than just in June. in July. It'll continue to give me strawberries throughout the whole year. Now the other bed, which is the 1-year-old bed, which will be 1 year come this season, that is a everbearing variety. And fourth going, I probably would only do everbearing. I won't do too many more Juneberry. Backyard Gardening, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. Hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving with family and friends. I did. I really enjoyed my Thanksgiving weekend or extended week. It was really, really nice. And I hope you had a nice one as well. So yeah, with your another thing that I did wrong as far as not preparing my garden. With my trees, for anybody who is thinking about buying trees, putting them out in their garden, this is my advice to you. There's three things you want to consider. Before you go out buying these trees that you see everybody else have and harvesting off of, think about this. How big your yard is, because that tree is going to get big. If it's a standard variety or if it's a semi-dwarf variety, it's still going to get big. You want to think about disease resistance. First of all, is it hardy in your zone? Is it a disease resistant and is it self-pollinating? If you get a tree that needs another tree to pollinate it, that means that's more space that you're taking up because you have to plant 2 trees. They have some trees, it might not be the particular variety that you want, but if you want an apple, then you want to get a self-pollinating apple. Okay, it's Golden Delicious. I like Gala. You got to pick your battle with that. Because are you going to plant 2 trees to get that Gala? Do you have enough space? Or are you going to go with the Golden Delicious, which is a self-pollinating variety? The same thing with your peaches. Is that peach tree hardy in your zone? Some people say my zone is 6B. When I go and purchase a tree, I try to purchase them 5. Zone 5 to make sure it's more than hardy. Those that are 6, I kind of worry about because sometimes, like last year, we wasn't living a 6B winter. We were living like almost a 4. We were going through a whole week of a polar vortex. Something that I had never heard before. Backyard Gardener, good to see you too. Thank you and hope you do the same. Okay, Ms. Ferrola is speaking of backyard gardening. So you have to understand that it's things to consider. If you go to anybody that grows a lot of trees, the first question you should ask them is, what would you do differently? And they'll tell you, I would have researched it more. I would have planned where I put my trees better. I wouldn't have got certain varieties because they're not disease resistant. You know, I got pet problems with it. So that's something that you really want to consider. Even on your land, if you young person has a problem with deers, before you can grow, you really got to kind of rectify that problem, or you just basically growing to feed the deers. So you got to figure out the best way to handle that. But to me, there's people in your neighborhood that has gardens. There's people in your area that has gardens. And they can probably tell you better than anybody. Anybody else can tell you because they know the traffic of those deers. They probably can tell you when they come out and everything to eat. So those are one of the things that you want to consider if you are growing trees. Do you need 2 cherry trees? I don't, but I have 2. Why do I had 3. but one of them died, and I'm not going to replace it. It was almost like I really didn't need 3 anyway. Because when these trees get to full maturity, now I do plan to, I was finna say low stress training, but that's not with the trees. I do plan to keep them pruned low. I do. But, still and again, those roots. I was watching M.I. Gardner's video, and he was saying how some of the roots are starting to compete and choking out other roots in his garden. Like, for example, a fig tree. You notice when you have a fig tree, Angela, when you have a fig tree in the ground, if you ever see a picture of a fig tree, it's normally sitting by itself. It's a reason for that. Because fig tree roots will grow out, and they start to twine around other things. So you have to be careful with your fig trees. Most of the time you see a fig tree, it's sitting by itself somewhere with no other tree by it. You can't put an apple tree next to a fig tree. It'll choke it out. Or any other tree for that matter. It will definitely choke it out. You got some plants that will choke out trees as well. There are companion planting. I've heard that asparagus and strawberries grow well together. Anybody ever heard of that? I was told that those things grow well together. Yeah. You have to be careful with those fig trees. Those roots will choke out another tree. Now, I don't know if it'll choke out another fig tree, because they both basically doing the same thing, but they will. You have to be careful. When you see a lot of fig trees, they're normally way away from everything. And it's a reason for that. I think Garden and Realtor neighbor has a fig tree. It's not, it's more of on a bush style. If I can remember. I would like to pick her mind and ask her, you got any problem with your fig tree choking out other plants? Can you plant, is you having complication with planting things around this fig tree area? Now I'm going to tell you one way to avoid that. Same thing with your trees, all trees. How can I have a garden right there next to my apple trees and my fig trees and my peach trees? I'm going to wind up messing with a root. But there's a way around that. If I want to have a garden offset from my fig tree, and I don't want it to bother the roots, thank you, Backyard Gardener. You have a great day as well. I appreciate you stopping in. And I don't want it to bother my roots. This is what James Prezzioni did on his lot. He built raised beds. Because most of our vegetable plants, they don't even need a whole foot of growing space. The root is not that long. The tap root is, they don't have tap roots. They're not that long with most of our plants. Our brassicas don't have long roots. Our beans don't have long roots. So we could put a raised bed right offset where to get enough sun or the proper amount of shade that it needs and grow from there. But as far as down in the ground, you're going to have to rethink some of those things. Because that digging and that tilling, at some point, is going to disturb the roots from your other plants. So those are some things that we have to consider as well in growing our trees. Are we going to be able to grow food around the area without destroying a tree? So that's things that we need to think about. Guys, I appreciate you all coming in. I appreciate the raid from Think Dragon. I hope that this live has been beneficial, if not entertaining. To you guys, I will be on next Monday. I have to start putting out some videos. Um, it's complicated for me because it's cold, but I am still doing my micro grow. I'm getting everything set up to do my micro grow so that I'll have that content as well as help me on my journey. I'm also planning on taking you guys into our planetarium. I was gonna do it yesterday, but I wound up going out to the farm, well, this farm area where I pick up my neighbor's dog food and stayed out there a little bit too long. So there is content coming. It's always difficult in the wintertime, and I'm the type of person, I don't just want to throw stuff up to be throwing stuff up. I want to be able to put something up that's actually going to be educational, entertaining, or at least interesting. So videos is coming. I'm still remaining to do my lives throughout the season. I can't wait till the weather break. And I know that sounds funny because we ain't got our first day of winter yet. I'm already got the blues about it. Because I want to do my lives out in the garden like I did over the summer. I think that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. So hopefully we can do that. City Stead, hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. I hear that you're almost done with your garlic. I got to go back and watch that video. Appreciate you coming in. So, yeah, it's a lot when you're living in Michigan, and the City Stead can attest to it. It's cold. We're supposed to be getting some snow on the way today. I don't know how much. I'm glad we didn't get hit with that snow that came through, I think it came through New York and a couple of other states. One of the Carolinas got it. I think it was North Carolina that got it. So, it's cold, people. Country living, hello, how are you? It's snowing today, and I think our garden is done till spring. I know our garden is done. Our garden was done about a month ago. We was getting frost, getting hit by the frost, and getting down. I think we already hit one of our teams. So we don't have any snow on the ground right now, but it's cold, it's wet, it's rainy, and they say snow is on the way. And see, the funny thing about Michigan, where Josh is, he can get snow and I wouldn't even see it. I wouldn't even see it. And I'm sure it's the same way in some of you states, how you kind of, it'll miss over you or pass by you. I went up 30 Mile yesterday to the farm up in Washington Township, and it was like 2 inches of snow up there. I never saw it. Not where I was coming from. I was hurried up and got what I needed and got away from there. I was like, y'all can keep this snow up here with y'all. So the further you get up north, the colder it's gonna get. The I-69 snow belt. Yeah, we just got it. Yeah. P. Smith Gardner, hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Please smash the like button for the host. P. Smith, you about shutting it down where you're at too. In your garden, correct? Yeah, I'm telling you, it's yeah. It's a wrap. It's definitely over, but I gotta get with Hidden Harvest. I'm seeing people buying this lights, y'all. I gotta get with them and go and get me one. I have a couple of LED full spectrum lights, but I like the way the Hidden Harvest are in a panel. Mine's is more in a box, and his might be more specifically. I need his specifically for my uh, microgreen area, for my indoor garden, vegetable garden. So I'm gonna check them out and ask some questions and see how many watts. And with LED guys, they don't pull from the wall. When I say pull from the wall, it's not really harsh on your electric bill, as some other type of grow lights can be a little bit harsher. I've always went LED, so I definitely want to check him out and see what he got going on with his lights. Terry Smith, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. We're about to wrap it up here. But our conversation today was basically, are we growing enough food? And do we need to grow more? I think I need to grow more next year. I plan to grow more next year, and I don't want to grow. I have to get away from the YouTube part of it, what looks good on camera, and be like, okay, come and join me. This is what I'm growing, and this is how much I'm growing. So I gotta build some more raised beds. I have to. And if I don't eat it, I don't grow it. That's why you never see radishes. They say, oh, well, radish is one of the easiest things for a beginning gardener. Well, this beginning gardener didn't like radish, so I never grew them. I didn't have a desire for it. But definitely check out, this is the time to request your catalogs for 2020. So definitely get ready to order them catalogs. So in springtime, because you should be, by March, if you're in the north, you should know what you're going to put in your garden. By March, it should be finalized. You have it on pencil or paper. I'm growing this, that, and the other. And you should pretty much have your seeds. If you're going to start from seeds. If you're going to start from starts, last year I did some of my stuff from starts. I'm telling you, those plants are expensive. And this year, I'm going to do my own tomato plants because I will be selling them on Facebook Market. Yep, it's a market for it. People will buy your tomato plants. People will buy your pepper plants. Also, I got a couple of videos coming out this week on my mail call, because I have one of my friends on Facebook, Chuck, sent me some fig cuttings. Yes, he did. Sent me some fig cuttings. There's 2 varieties that I don't have. So I'm going to be propagating those and getting those ready to go in my little clear cups. Oh, Angela, are you still in here? Angela, Busy Bee Garden Homestead. If you're still in here, when you guys, anybody that's growing figs, this is why I get the clear cups. Or anything that you're waiting to root. I get these because I'm able to see if they're rooted out. Because you want to get your roots before you get your foliage on those cuttings, on your fig cuttings. So that's why I always use these solo clear cups. And you can find them pretty much about anywhere. So I got about 2 new varieties. I think he sent me 2 cuttings apiece. If they're successful and I get them to root and leaf out, the overflow will be sold or given away. I sold some cuttings last year. I was happy about that. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna start my plants. It will be sold locally. It won't be sold like to YouTubers or whatever. It'll be sold locally where they will meet up. So I'll be selling extra tomato plants, because when you go to these garden nurseries, even Home Depot have pretty good deals, because you can get it like four for $10, and they're pretty nice plants. I think it's by Burpee, but these garden centers, they're really expensive. They're really expensive. And my Everbearing strawberries always give me runners. Start digging those runners up after you disconnect it from the mother plant and they done rooted. Wait till they root first. then disconnected from the mother plant. That's a whole nother strawberry plant. I'm telling you, you can sell that stuff. You can. And my gardener had redid a bed, and he had to throw away a lot of his strawberry plants, and everybody was really upset. Some people was upset, was like, why would you throw it away? Why would you give it away? It's hard to give stuff away, because first of all, you got to take the time and advertising that you're giving it away. It ain't like you could just always sit it out on the curb and 100 gardeners is going to come by and get it. And he had so much, and he felt bad about having to discard them the way he did, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I'm definitely not growing enough this year, but this year has been a focus on the foundation of potting mix and can work toward growing enough. Absolutely, and I agree that sometimes you do have to get your foundation, because that's what was going on with me. First, you got to get your foundation. Then, and especially when you're just starting back into growing, you get your foundation, you see what you got, but once you got that foundation, once you're seeing that this is successful and that is successful, then you expand. Because if you try to go in too much at one time, you will overwhelm yourself. You were very successful in growing your kale in your containers this year. So that lets you know that, hey, if I get a bigger container, if I get a tote and drill holes in that tote, boom, I can grow more kale in that tote. The only thing that I don't like about that black tote that I had the strawberries in, black draws heat. So when we were like 90 degrees out there this summer and them black totes was heating up the way they was, white and light colors reflect the sun away from it. But that black will draw the sun in, and it will cook those roots or dry out your pot a lot quicker. So with and I am a container raised bed gardener. NJ Kelly, hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you stopping in. He's also a container gardener as well. When you got those totes coming in like that, you have to really you got to be careful, because they'll dry out quick. And you got to know, especially with your trees and those tomato plants in containers. You got to know when that stuff is getting root bound. Figs too. You got to know when it's getting root bound. That means that there's no more soil in there. It then got the roots and took it all up. So you got to basically go in there and you got to up pot that so that those roots can get the proper amount of water. You ever water something and it just goes straight out and it's still dry? That's an indication that your plant is root bound. So we have to be careful with that as well. Green Organic Love, hello, how are you? Welcome to the live. Thank you so much for coming in. Four Horns Farm, hello, how are you? Welcome to the live. I appreciate you guys coming in. I hope that everybody is having a great week. And we have another super chat that just came through. Thank you so much, Melody Williams. Hold your ears, guys. Melody Williams just dropped a super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, I got a super chat from Rose. Thank you again, Rose. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. You're wonderful. So definitely remember, plan to grow more food. A lot of times you have to put them beds to rest for a season. Okay, they didn't rest for that season. When that season is over, fill that bed up. I've never had to put any of my beds to rest. I just really amend my soil good, and they do pretty fine. So I'm hoping the same thing. Now remember your bean plants, and also you got to learn what your plants give to the soil. Some plants take away, some plants give. Bean plants give nitrogen to your soil. So you could do some companion planting right there with beans. A lot of people grow corn with beans. I think it's called the Three Sister thing. You could do some companion planting. Everything in that one bed don't have to be. That's just with my little OCD self. Everything has to be structured. All of my beans have to be with beans. But that, you don't have to do that. Because if I can grow now, watermelons they take away the nitrogen. They like a lot of nitrogen. So I know that that's pulling a lot out of my soil. But beans are actually giving the soil nitrogen. My striped green beans. So those are little tips that you got to learn and discover too when growing. The container growing, you have to feed that plant. There's nothing available for it. There's no natural nutrients for it. My raised beds, I might not have to do it the way I have to do my containers. And normally with my containers, Miss Farola, I like to use a lot of my liquid fertilizers as well. I don't have one right here by me, but I'll use the 511, the stinky stuff. That works really well, but that works for the nitrogen, the growth. You want something to help you also with the blooming, because my tomato plants I think I put them in 10-gallon buckets this time, and they got humongous growth from all that nitrogen. But for all that growth, I didn't get enough bloom, which is fruit set. So you also got to give it that potassium too. You know what I'm saying? You got to give it both. And you got to make sure that you understand the plant. My thing this year was, I tried, and it's going to sound a little weird, I tried to become one with the plant. I tried to communicate and understand I sat there, what does this plant need? What is it asking for? When you grow out the ground, a lot of times everything that it needs is right there. Your worm castings is right there. Your leaf mold is right there. Your nutrients is right there. Everything that you need that's already in the ground. But in my container, I can't get the worm castings. In my container, I can't get the mycorrhizas. I have to actually add it to it. How do you add mycorrhizas to your container? Easily. You can buy it. Or you can dig it out the soil and put it over in the container. I do buy my mycorrhizas starting off my plant. If you guys have a hydroponic store in your area, I'm telling you, they have everything you need to have a successful container garden. Everything. Those plants is going to need that. Those mycorrhizas, those worm castings, all of those things help your plant to thrive, because you're putting it in a situation that's not meant to be. So at least give it what it needs to, as if it was. If I make any sense. The same thing with growing indoors. That wasn't really meant to be, but if I have the right full spectrum LED light that will simulate daylight the way that it does outside, I can grow successfully. Hidden Harvest Grow Lights. He has a whole garden that's successful inside of his home because he's duplicating nature. And we can, just like figs are not supposed to grow here. Okay, well, if I put them up against the building of my house, the side of my house, I could create a microclimate for it. So that's the things that we have to keep in mind. Understand nature. Understand how things grow. Do a little research. When you think of the word food forest, I like those channels that the name has food forest permacultures, because I already know they about to be deep. They didn't study. Some of them might call themselves food forest just as a name, because they have so much food out on their land. But most of them, like Dan and Food Forest Permaculture, they're deeper than that. They understand the microbiology of growing from soil. They understand the plant matter. They understand what it needs. They understand the benefits of the worm casting, and they understand the benefits of the mycorrhizas. Um, James Prezzioni, Food Forest. He gets really deep where he uses his wood chips and the benefits of wood chips. If you go through a forest, it's always beautiful and lush and green. Ain't nobody out there fertilizing that. There's no one out there that's tending to those plants. The leaves fall on the ground and they break down into the soil. Eventually, when the trees go dormant and they feed the plants. That's why someone did a video said, I can't understand why people throw away their leaves. You're throwing away fertilizer. Diva Jones tell you that all the time. You guys are using all this different chemicals when everything you need is free and at your disposal. So we just have to learn to go deeper than the year before. Last growing season, go a little bit deeper than you did this growing season. And that's my plan, is to try to understand. That's another reason why I'm taking this class in March. I'm looking forward to, is because I really want to understand plant life. I want to understand how it works. I know the basics. We all know the basics because we're growing. We're successful with it, but I want to get a little bit more deeper into that. So definitely don't be afraid to pick up a book. I know a lot of us don't do books no more. We just go on YouTube and watch somebody else's video, but get a good book and pick it up and read about it. And then you do got some people that has really good videos that's very detailed about what they're doing, but some people I can't follow because I can't keep up and understand because they're all over the place with their content, like I am today with this live stream. We're supposed to talk about growing more food, but you got to kind of get out there and follow the people that's knowledgeable. And I'm telling you, I say this every time I come live. Diva Jones 03, the girl is very knowledgeable about that garden. I mean, if you would see, go to her videos, watch what she's using to make her soil. It's just stuff around the yard. Trees that she had cut down on her property. All of that stuff breaks down. Leaves, breaks down. James Prezzioni. Go to his channel. See the difference that this guy was in Jersey. He had clay soil. See the difference that his transformation, his soil has made since he used wood chips. You know, you got Angela Busy Bee Garden Homestead has chickens on her land. The benefits of those chickens for her garden alone, I mean, she's got a bonus because she gets her eggs and her chickens, but what they poop out alone, how it breaks down that compost so fast, comfrey. Everybody need to get some comfrey. Comfrey has so many different benefits. A comfrey root goes down so deep. That taproot goes down so deep into that soil. It's pulling the nutrients up. And you chop it and you drop it. I'm going to tell you another channel that's just underrated, and I think they're awesome. Morning Gardener. This guy, he's a little hard to follow, but this guy is knowledgeable. Very, very knowledgeable. And passionate about growing his own food. If you don't know Morning Gardener, you might want to get to know him. It's called The Morning Gardener Show. Get to know him because he has very, very good information. Very good information and very knowledgeable. When you could take something from nothing and grow, when you can transfer a clay soil into a nice, rich, loomy soil, that's awesome. That's impressive. Very impressive. So guys, check these channels out that I mentioned. They're awesome. And it's all to help you all be even more successful in your gardening. Okay, we got some bigger channels. But honestly, let me see, how can I put that? They're not growing from nothing. Raw land. That's why I love these homesteading channels. And that is, you just bought acres that was tall weeds, and you done whacked them down. You done had people come in and till it up, and you done started a garden. I like those homesteading channels. You know, I can appreciate some other channels as well, as far as how they transferred their yard into a nice, beautiful garden. I appreciate those channels also. Don't get me wrong. But what's impressive is to be successfully growing out of a container, and from taking raw land and making it into a beautiful food forest or a garden, or buying a lot from the city like James did. Not one lot, but 2 lots. He has 2 food forests, and transferring it into a food forest. And then having a small space like Broadway Gardener, a small space, and having a very successful garden. Very successful. So don't always judge a book by its colors. This is what we get caught up in. Oh, they only have 1,000 subscribers, so they don't know what they're doing. You will be surprised. Or they only have 500 subscribers. They're not a good gardener. That's not true. That's not true. Because I'm telling you, some of these channels that got 200,000 subscribers and 150 subscribers, I want to pick their mind. I want to ask them questions about the gardening. Not the YouTube ready. Not the YouTube ready gardens. Okay? I'm talking about the real gardens that's actually feeding their family and taking this food in the house and canning it and preserving it. And they don't have to go to the grocery store every week, every 2 weeks. Those are the channels that intrigues me. The ones that are starting out, and you telling me that you just took a tote, put some soil in it, drilled some holes in it, and you grew all of this in this tote? Amazing. You telling me, you know what I'm saying? Those are the things that impress me. To have this beautiful land, and you got all these beautiful trees, and you're growing fruits that I didn't even know how they grew, but thanks to your channel, now I know how they grow. So I'm telling you, check out some channels, guys. Get out there and network. Don't just go to the live streams and network. What I do, I found Broadway Gardener. She wasn't in a live stream. I found Broadway Gardener through somebody else's channel, and she left a comment, and I went to go check her out, and I was amazed. Same thing with Nadine's Secret Garden. She wasn't in the live stream. I found her over at not Bull's Garden, and Rob's Garden over in Houston, Texas. They're in the same city. So I mean, if you're a true gardener, check out these gardening channels and learn things. Four Horns Farm. The things that she was doing on her farm was amazing. I was intrigued because I first of all, the whole pig situation, that was new for me to see a lady able to handle that. So that's one of the things that impressed me about her land. I mean, and how the whole family gets involved. I mean, we're teaching our children to garden. We're teaching our our grandchildren to garden, and I mean, it's a pretty awesome situation. And what I don't understand is like I want these channels to go live. These big channels go live, so it could be overwhelming for them because 200, 300 people gonna come in there. But I just want to be able to pick the minds and ask the questions, you know, of this gardening, because you have to understand a lot of us. Talita 360, hello, welcome to the live. Thank you so much. Angela Critters, hello, how are you? Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. A lot of these gardeners are YouTube gardeners, and we could be YouTube gardeners. We could be gardeners on YouTube, but I don't want to be a YouTube gardener. I want to be a gardener on YouTube, where I'm teaching you or I'm showing you that in your very own backyard you can grow enough food to sustain for your family. That you can grow in containers. You can build raised beds. It ain't that complicated. You got people that make things so overly complicated. It's not that complicated. Like I said, people say, oh, it's so expensive to eat healthy. It's expensive not to. You can't afford not to eat healthy now. With the price of medicine and co-pays for the doctor. And guess what? If you ain't got that money for the medicine, they're not going to give it to you. The generic is just as high as the regular medicine. So we have to get out there. We have to learn what our herbs are, what our herbs do. That's my goal. Learn what these herbs do. I want to know what, it's a herb called horsetail. It's for your hair. You can Google it. It actually helps grows your hair. There's a herb called, you got your ginger, you got your turmeric, you have your rosemary, valerian root. Valerian root helps me with my anxiety. Just being stressed over work. We all stressed. We all overwork because we're trying to get out there and we're trying to survive. And it's hard for us to turn it off, especially if you work a certain shift. It's hard to turn that off and just sit back and relax. There are different teas. Stop popping those Motrins all the time or those volumes. You don't need that. There are things that you can grow out in your garden to help calm and relax you and to make you sleep. We gotta find out what they are. Live off the earth. And you will get their green organic love. It's very important, Talita 360. It's important for people to know the different herbs. J3GS Farms. Man, I thought I was going to get it right this time without looking. Welcome to the live. Thank you so much for coming. It's things that we really need to learn. We need to be more in tune with earth. We need to be more in tune with the herbs. Natural antibiotics. Natural antibiotics. Not the Keflex that the doctor give you or that other stuff that the antibiotics that the doctor give you, but that garlic that you're growing. You know those I think it's called those little porcelain, what is that called? It's the little bowl and it has the little thing that you crunch up your meds and stuff in the little bowl. Though crunch up some smash up some garlic. I'm telling you, garlic is one of the natural antibiotics. The Naked Gardener just did a video on it too. Yes. Thank you, Miss Farrell. I can always count on you. You use that, and my mom used to use it to crunch up her medicines because she couldn't swallow her pills. put some garlic and start smashing that garlic up. I'm telling you, garlic is a healer, and a lot of people don't even know that. It's a natural antibiotic. Now, in no way, form, or fashion, and I'm telling y'all to get off y'all meds. I'm just saying, we need to learn the things that's healthy. Again, the Naked Gardener just did a video on a drink he had put together, which is like a natural antibiotic. Starduster did kabocha. I think that's how you pronounce it. I never tried it, but it's a lot of different benefits from it. Ginger. I think every household should have ginger in it, um, especially today. If you're living in the north, or if you do a lot of exercise, if you're a heavy person and you know those bones, you know how your mind say, I'm about to get up and go, and then your body's still sitting there like, hold on. You gotta wait a minute. That ginger loosens up your limbs. Jump off. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the live. Thank you so much for coming in. Oh, you came in on something because you just got deleted. Let's see what's going on with you. Too many capital letters. Jump off. You got to take those caps out of there. And I did move my trees back inside the house. That's why your message got taken down. We can't use capital letters. They're considered spam. I did move them in the house. They're in the basement. I just checked on them last night, and I put my meter down there to keep an eye on the temperature, which is hovering around 55 degrees, which is okay for them to stay dormant. I don't want to go past 60 though, but it's pitch black down there. But definitely, let's start learning some more herbs, and when we come together, share. Now, again, you can't say if you have diabetes, you need to take such and such. Don't do that on your channel, because now you're giving this. You can say this. Well, this helps me with my anxiety. This is what I use for my. You don't want to give out medical advice, but I have always. No problem. We just can't use caps in here, Jump off, but I appreciate you for understanding that. We have to learn these herbs. I'm telling you, back in the day, they didn't have all of that. They didn't have all these different medicines, and every medicine now have a side effect. So that means you heal one thing, but I gotta suffer from something else. I even had one medicine, I promise you. I read the back of my friend's medicine bottle, and I was like, no, it wasn't the bottle, it was the paper that they give you. It said something about having a hairy tongue, and I'm like, did you read this? You might not want to. I'm telling you, the side effects are crazy. So definitely learn your herbs. Lynn, hello, how are you? Coffee is good for asthma. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. That's something to look into. I'm telling you, certain things have benefits to it. You know, we see these commercials or these titles that say if you juice your celery for a week, this is what it does to your body. Y'all seen those before. There's a lot of benefits from celery. I've learned that from Green Organic Love when she's juicing that celery. And I'm like, you really, in it? You know what? It's not even a bad taste. What make it so bad? It's not a bad taste, the celery, but I'm learning that it's different, that there are different varieties of celery. The celery that I bought over Thanksgiving to put in my dressing, it was a sweet, juicy taste to it. And I was like, now see, this celery will go good in a dress. juicer to juice and to drink. There's different varieties of carrots. We all know that. Some are sweeter than others. Some are more flavorful than others. So we need to learn it. Greens, period. That's what I really liked about John Kohler, Growing Your Own Greens. He would tell you a lot of the benefits of eating kale and different things like that. So you really need to find out, and as we grow our channels or as we put out our contents and we get the knowledge, we got to share it or should share it with other people as well. Because I'm telling you, celery, since I've been watching Green Organic Love, I've been getting, I'm just going to put it out there. I've been getting more greens into my system in ways that I didn't even really think about juicing it. I mean, I heard about juicing, but I'm more on, okay, well, they got the little pills that you could pop supposed to be, giving. We want to get away from all that if we can. If we don't have any type of diabetes or heart disease, but we're getting older. So we have to change the way we look at things, we think about things, and we do things. If we're going to stick around. And I do plan on sticking around. And Sally makes a beautiful plant in the garden. I've never grown it before though, Miss Farola. I've heard people say that, oh, you can cut it off and start the bottom part of it, root down. I haven't seen it to be successful. But I know that the ginger makes a very interesting plant for sure. Have you ever noticed that the grocery stores never tell you what type of vegetable varieties they are selling you? The celery is Utah variety, but the tomatoes are mini. Yeah, I do notice that. I do. And I kind of wonder, why don't they tell you the variety? Because there are different varieties. We know that. So that is something to think about. That is something to think about, though. A lot of times, though, they have a problem with even being out. See, because I'm telling you, I don't really trust the grocery stores like that. I'm learning to shy away. Restore Garden, hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Welcome to the live. I'm learning with these grocery stores, they be lying. Like I'm telling you, the fruit market that I go to. Why would you have the organic strawberries sitting right next to your regular strawberries, and they're all packaged the same? It's just a little symbol on there to say, or the sign that says organic over there. It's so easy to switch, or somebody pick it up and not want it and put it in the wrong spot. I feel like if you got organic, it need to be over in the organic section. You should have a whole section for organic grown. It shouldn't be mixed with the ones that are being treated. It's the same thing, with the eggs or chickens. They're free range, but you got them sitting right here next to regular chickens. And just because you say they're free range don't mean they're free range. I'm telling you. I've been watching some videos of how they just blow these little chickens up to make them weigh more. And now someone was telling me, or I was hearing it from somewhere, where they could take a chicken and in 5 weeks from a chick, 5 weeks from a chick, they're harvesting it. Because they done pumped that chicken up with so much steroids, and they done pumped that chicken up to grow faster, to get that master. You know how many people eat chicken? You know how many people out here are going to grocery stores? You got to think about that. How do we keep up with that? Gallons and gallons of milk. And I'm telling you, this is what I love about Justin Road channel. Because he the one that stopped me from drinking milk. He don't even know. He probably, but I'm telling you. When that cow pooped in that milk by mistake, I don't even know how I got it. It fell on the ground and it splashed over into the bucket and he had to start all over. Man, I don't want that. First of all, I'm lactose, so I can't really have the dairy like that, but milk, I'm getting turned off from a lot of things in my older age, even eggs. I'm getting turned off from the eggs too. Jump off organic means that you can charge more money. You need to understand that organic. What I got? Yeah, basically in the grocery stores, that's their terminology. That organic means that, oh, I could just charge you more. But I've seen some very beautiful fruit in the market that says organic. All the organic food that I grow don't look that pretty. Because the bugs and the pests want to get to it. Because there's no chemicals on it. They haven't been sprayed with anything. So I'm trying to figure out how they get their organic to look so good. Bluegill and bass, hello. It's a fishing channel in here. Thank you so much for coming in. That's another thing of self-sustainability. Going out there knowing how to fish. I don't know how to fish. But that would be a very good thing. It's not just all about in the garden. I got a fishing rod. I got my fishing license last year, but I didn't take the time out to go fishing. But I think this year I'm gonna definitely go this year with my brother. So that's a skill set. To fish, it's a skill. To me, to garden, that's a skill set. Everybody can't do it. Everybody don't know how to fish. Everybody don't know how to garden. So to me, it's a skill, and it's a survivor skill as well. You can eat, but I've seen some stuff come out of that water and make you kind of scared. Like it's a dogfish. It's one fish called a dogfish. It barks like a dog. Ugly fish. Love like the sun. Hello. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you so much for coming in. Yes, you are new. Got some new channels in here. J3GS Farm say fishing is a stress reliever. Also, yeah, it is. I have a cousin that goes fishing in Birmingham, Alabama, and oh my God, you don't even have to ask where he at. We already know he out fishing somewhere, and he gets some pretty good catches too. And it makes it even better when you're good at it, and then you know how to prepare it. See, it's some things that I have to get away from. Jump off say he can only catch mosquitoes with fishing. So true, fishing is a skill set. It was my bucket list, and I can say I have accomplished that. Wow, that's good, Tylita. I'm gonna put it on my list for sure. I already got my pole, but see, I be watching the fishing channels because R5 Adventure make their own bait. And see, I know nothing about it. I'm like, well, don't you just dig up some worms, put it on the hook? So I guess it depends on what you're trying to catch. But I definitely want to start fishing this summer. Because anything that will give me gardening is a stress reliever and fishing. So anything that will relieve some stress in your life in this day and age, we definitely need to do it. Let me see. P. Smith said, I love fishing. I just don't have anyone to go with. Yeah, yeah. And you gotta go with somebody that's patient, from my understanding, because you're gonna sit there. It's about patience as well. Same thing with gardening. It's about being patient. You ain't be doing all that moving around like, man, let me check this. Nope. you gotta be patient. Guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. About 5, I'm gonna take it 5 more minutes. So please network with these channels that's coming in. Country Living say he hates fishing. It's such a given sport, Country Living. Why would you hate fishing? Is it that you're not really good at it? I need answers. Such a given sport. Now I don't. I'm talking, but y'all know my scary old self. I probably could catch it, but I'm gonna need somebody to take it off the hook. Put it in the bucket for me. Put the top of the bucket. I got it from there. And that's something that you have to learn the different types of fish as well. Now, I know my bass, and I know a catfish. I don't eat catfish. I don't mess with catfish. You can't pay me to eat no catfish. But I can tell a catfish. That's one of the easiest fishes to identify. Is a catfish. I know, Miss Ferrola, right? Country Living said it takes for every to catch anything, and the bugs will eat you. Yeah, that's true too. 'Cause you right off that still water, and those mosquitoes and spiders will get you. You call the P. Smith, you call the catfish bottom feeders. I don't mess with no catfish. When I found out how catfishes are, I ain't had a catfish since. So no, whiting, perch. Now I won't cook perch in my house because it's so smelly. That will have to go outside and get fried up. But whiting, my favorite is orange roughy, which is probably not even a real lake fish. I don't eat tilapia either. That's a man-made fish. I won't eat that. I used to, but I stopped eating that. That's not a real fish, tilapia. And that sly, I think it's called. I don't eat that either. Whiting, bass, perch, orange roughy. I like those. And like I said, with the orange roughy, I don't even know if it's a man-made fish or a real fish, but I like it, but I won't eat tilapia or catfish. And that's just me. But that's a part of self-sustainability. Like, it's a lot of things that I don't do because of my fear of or never doing it before. Really? And I think they come out a certain time of the year real heavy, like in spring. The bass come out a certain time of year, Miss Ferrola. Everything jump off. Bath. We have everything up here in these Great Lakes. We got some we got some crazy stuff come out of these lakes and rivers. I'll tell y'all a story about the river fish. Too many people be doing crazy things up here. I don't know what them fish is eating or who they eating. Who they're eating. Orange roughy, never heard of it. Really? So somebody was cooking fish. Was it you, Tylita? 360 was cooking fish the other day, and I had never heard of that fish. I'd never heard of it, but when I asked someone about it, they say it's on the lines of Cobb. I think Tylita was cooking fish the other day on her channel, and I can't think Hamlet fish, something like that. I can't name it. It looked really good, but I'd never heard of it before. Yeah, J3GS Farms, you got to try you some orange roughy. It's really good. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but it's good. Well, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm going to shut it down. I was supposed to do the hour, but I did too. But as always, when we come together, it's a nice little fellowship, and I appreciate each and every one. Miss Farola, Melanie, the moderator. Thank you guys for maintaining my chat. Also, everybody that gave me a super chat, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's hard this winter as far as putting out content. I do have content coming. Eric Hall sent me some seeds. I got to do the mail call for that. I also got some cuttings that Chuck, my friend on Facebook, sent me. 2 different varieties, so I want to propagate those and do a video on that, and a couple of more stuff. I'm trying to set the live up a little different on my Mondays, where it's at least enjoyable when you come in, or relaxing when you come in. I know a lot of people's lives are on and popping, and a lot of my personality is so laid back. I be trying, y'all, but I just feel like that's not my character. Even with their videos, there's so much excitement and this and that and this. Sometimes I have it, but it'll go away about 3 minutes because my personality is so laid back. So with that being said, oh my goodness, is this Skins fans? Oh, god doggone day. Skins fan, welcome to the live. Thank you so much for coming in, brother. I appreciate that. Now y'all see this big Kool-Aid smile? Because Skins fans all day just stepped into the live again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you coming in. Guys, I'm going to get on out of here. Make sure you check everybody out. Make sure you network. Make sure you keep growing in the garden and out the garden. Have a blessed day, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Happy gardening.